Hello, everyone. My name is Wendy Fore from Cash Life Mastery, and I am a business and marketing mentor. And today, guys, you are joining us on Breaking Barriers in Business. And we are talking about how to fill your downline fast. And today, joining me is my co-host, Kirkpatrick. And Chris, can you introduce yourself? And we'll get right into the topic.
Yeah, you got it. Hey, guys, I'm Kirkpatrick. I am a internet marketer. I'm a network marketing trainer, a financial coach. I do lots of different things. I used to be the head of recruiting and development for a Fortune 1000 financial company. I'm now a top distributor with a network marketing company. And one of my favorite things to do in the world is to coach people how to create passive income through network marketing, through building their business. And one of my favorite ways to do that is by teaching people how to do it online. So we're talking about a lot of that stuff. I know we're going to talk a lot about Facebook and stuff. We always seem to talk a lot about Facebook because it's just so, and social media in general, because it's just so out there for everybody. But that's kind of who I am. That's what I love to do. And, you know, I guess for today, what I'm really excited about is just talking about, you know, what is so important about everybody, when they get into this business, they want to grow fast, right? I mean, that's really, people don't get into this and be like, oh, I hope I can get rich quick, or get rich slow. Everybody wants to get rich quick. Now, you can't get rich quick, or there's no such thing. I mean, those are typically scams, right? But
and if you're not growing, you're dying. So
right, exactly. So what this is all about today is really figuring out, okay, what's the mindset? How do I grow my downline fast? How do I grow my business fast? And, you know, I know we're talking, once again, this is what I love about network marketing, is that it's the best industry in the world because it constantly pushes you to become a better version of yourself. Now, what we're talking about today is how to grow your downline. But I tell you what, when I was the head of recruiting and development for the Fortune 1000 company, we were doing studies where we even had guys go down to this place called Church Street, where I live in Burlington, Vermont, where I used to live in Burlington, Vermont, and we had them go down and offer to hand out $100 bills, right? So
wow.
Literally, no joke, like, so $100 bill, go out, offer to hand it out to people, but how many people do you think took them up on the offer?
I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine anybody turning down a $100 bill.
It took 32 people for the first person to say yes.
Wow.
So think about that, guys. So you got somebody who legitimately is there looking to hand out $100 bills, right? We weren't going to give a lot of them out. We just wanted to do a couple just to kind of see what would happen. And it was part of a training exercise because it's no different. Every kind of sales job, we all have this ego-based thing that it's about. We all think that the reason they're saying no, it's because of us. You know, it's got to be something to do with me, right? Somebody says no, I must have said something wrong. I must have done something wrong. They must not like me. They may not want to work with me. I don't know what I'm going to do. But the bottom line is, it's not that. They're not rejecting you. They're rejecting themselves, you know, and that $100 bill kind of challenge was just speaking to that point. You know, why they're not saying no to the $100 bill because of me for any reason. They were saying no because they had their own walls up. They had their own skepticisms. They had their own like belief sets that kind of held them in place. And because of that, it cost them $100. You know, that's it, just period. And the same thing goes, you know, with your business. It's not a matter of, you know, figuring out. So many people want to get this so lined up and so right? Everybody prepares to get ready. They get ready to get ready to get ready. And, you know, we all like to focus on what we're comfortable with. And typically that does not involve getting out there, getting on the phone, talking to people, and doing the stuff that actually create money.
Exactly. So many people get stuck in education mode because they need to know more. They need to know more. They need to know more. And, you know, as soon as I read this book, then I might be ready. Oh, wait a minute. I got to have this program. I got to do this first, you know. So, yeah, that preparation stage can really get you.
And it's challenging for me because, you know something, I love to read. And I love that there's so many amazing books and authors and courses and programs and masterminds. And, you know, you're watching this video right now. I assume you're watching this video because you are looking to learn something, you know, and like, but the bottom line is I'm not going to say there's too much of it out there, because I think the more the merrier as far as that goes. However, I think people, because there's so much information out there, they get stuck in this educational process, and that's not what's going to get you. And what I encourage you to really think about is figure out what you're looking to do, whatever it is. The biggest thing with any business is figure out what's holding you back from being profitable, and then work on that, and work on one or two things at a time. Because if you try to like become this all holistic, well-rounded, amazing, #1 salesperson, speaker, trainer, whatever, before, you go out and just get bloodied up a little bit, like it's just not going to work, like
have
you're
some
never
more
going to do it.
wounds in there somewhere.
Yeah, man. Chicks dig scars, right, Wendy?
Yeah,
right? Chicks
actually,
dig scars.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, it's no different. My wife, like, she's like, it's just, business world has just changed for me. She gets more attracted to me when I'm out there busting my hump and getting beat up, in certain things. Why? Because I'm growing, it just is what it is. And so, like, here, okay, so getting back on topic, because it's all tied together, but I know I can tend to go out there. But the bottom line is, all this is relevant to this topic, because it all comes down to, how do I grow quickly? Well, I'm going to give you the quick, real boom answer, and it's real simple. Get more exposures, right? Get as many exposures to your product, service, opportunity, whatever it is that you have to offer. Get more exposures to it as quickly as possible. It's a simple equation. And if you're wondering what to say, how to say it, whatever, we've done a lot of videos on that to this point. Go back, watch them. They're phenomenal, I think. And just do that. More exposures. Now, how do you do that?
In other words, more work. Do more work. Actual work.
Well, something is like, there's this problem right now. There's all these people, and it really irritates me. Okay, so I just got done saying I love all the books and I love all the reading. There's not too much of it out there. There can never be too much, and blah 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 blah. I disagree with that comment I just made for myself on one point. Is that there's so much information out there right now trying to tell you that you could just kind of like manifest your way into abundance, and you could just,
and that's that is such a line of BS.
Totally.
When I hear people say, "Oh, you don't have to work to make money with this product," and I'm like, really? How do you make money just by wishing it to be so? Tell me, please.
Those people should be slapped. So here's the deal: is it's really, really clean. Just get more exposures out. Now, how do you do that? Well, the beautiful thing about social media, you got email, social media, Facebook Messenger, your phone, right? The phone. I still, to this day, guys, you're never going to have better conversions than in person, but in person is not massively duplicatable, because you got to drive from place to place. You can do it, and you got to just figure out who you're going to see. Is it worth your drive and time and money and effort and all that stuff? The phone is the best way, because you can get on there. Exactly. It blows my mind. Like it really does, Wendy. You know how often I talk to people about network marketing, about joining the team, and mind you, this isn't, I don't just, go to my opportunity. I'm just, as after talking to them about having a conversation about what they're looking to accomplish, right? Why would this be of interest to them? And then they go, you know what? This all sounds really, really good. This all sounds amazing. I love the product. I love what the company is. I love what it stands for. I love, I'm very, interested. I just don't have anybody to talk to. You don't? Let me see your phone. Like, I'm going to, you're going to tell me you don't have anybody to talk to. And if you're watching this, and if you've ever thought to yourself that you don't have anybody to talk to, if you have more than 50 people in your phone book, I'm going to call BS on you. And I'm going to say the only reason you're saying you don't have anybody to talk to is because you're scared as you know what to make the phone calls and to expose them. And I'm going to challenge you and say that if you're scared, the only reason you're scared is because your own ego, and you're worried that other people are going to judge you. And I know that's kind of like a harsh comment, come to Jesus kind of conversation, but it is what it is. And I can say that because I used to be that. I used to have that mindset.
Absolutely. I'll be honest with you, as a woman, and
Yeah.
older, and I'm overweight, and I'm all these things. I thought, who in the world is going to want to listen to me? And I would think of a list a mile long of reasons why I couldn't get on here and do live video. That was my biggest fear. Why I couldn't get on the telephone and tell people, who would believe me. It was just crazy. And when I finally figured out how to get out of my own way and get over myself, that's when everything fell into place and I became successful.
Awesome. I mean, and that's what it's all about, though. But it's like I say, I think I say this on every broadcast we do. If it's worth doing, it's worth doing poorly until you're good at it, And so you got to think about yourself. You got to think about, what are your goals, right? Start with the end in mind. What are your goals? What do you want your life to look like? What do you want your legacy to look like? And then you have to think to yourself, if I don't change anything in my life right now, am I going to accomplish that? And I guarantee you 95% of the people in this world, the answer to that is no. And so it's the reality is, you either hate changing enough to lose, or you hate losing enough to change, right? So yeah. Are you scared? Are you so scared right now that you're not willing to put yourself out there? Make all the phone calls, send all the emails, put yourself out there, start doing live media, start connecting with people, start sending Facebook messages, start being diligent about following up, building a community, adding more value, because the reality is people follow value, right? Wendy just mentioned all these different things that she's, kind of has this self-perception of, right? And all these reasons that she was, kind of self-talking her, or had all this self-doubt going on about why would people want to follow her for all these reasons. But the reality is people follow value. And because she dedicates herself, and believe me, Wendy will tell you, like 3 years ago, 2 years ago, she was nowhere near the person she is now. And if you met her then, you probably wouldn't have been attracted to her. But she worked on herself so much, and now she's able to add so much more value out there into the world that people follow value. And because I think most people, that we all, I mean, I know everybody, I think, wants, progress, right? Everybody wants to get better. Everybody wants their life to be better tomorrow than it is today. And
absolutely. And that's something that if you don't have that mindset, though, it's really hard to get over that hump. If you don't really give yourself that self-talk that I'm going to do at least one thing better today than I did yesterday. And then tomorrow I'll do even something better than that.
Totally. Well, and so here's the deal. Like I know we could talk about a lot of different things, but this is a really simple thing. You want to grow your business fast? We're going to get into some technicals on how you can do it once you really get into the kind of second phase of growing your networking business, where you're actually helping people on your team rather than just recruiting. But at the beginning, I mean, you could do everything on your own until you hit a business of about 75 to 100 people in your downline. You can do, and not only that, you probably will have to do almost everything by yourself with a little bit of help. I mean, if you have 75 people, you'll have a couple people out there doing some stuff. But until you hit 100 people, you're going to be doing most of the work. And I say most of it, like 95 to 99% of the work, you're going to be doing it. And it's going to be the hardest thing in the world to get through. People fail, people give up in network marketing because they don't have quick success. Well, that's just BS. Because go show me something else that has a more guaranteed, predictable chance to get you where you want to go, that also puts you in the driver's seat, where you are essentially the only variable to your success or not. Because I promise you, the only reason you fail in network marketing is if you quit on yourself, you quit on the business, and you don't commit to your own growth. Because if you're constantly committed to your growth and improving yourself and your weaknesses on the things that are holding you back, it may take you a little longer, because we all start at different places, but it is what it is. You're going to get there. I can tell you, for me, I was struggling with all this stuff when I was getting into the financial industry. I had all these challenges. I was really good at talking to people one-to-one, but the first time I ever did a live stream, I was scared to death. You know, I was shaking, I was sweating, I was like so nervous. I remember the first time my wife made me do a video.
I was about to say, I think Periscope was like the thing that made us all get over ourselves, because we knew that we needed to do this to make our businesses grow, because everybody was doing it. And if you didn't, you were going to just kind of go, you know. And that was the hardest thing in the world to do. It was like, I hated it at first, but after I did it for a while, it was like, you know, wow, just talking to people, you know, no problem.
Totally. And you know what? Necessity is the creator of all invention, right? And
Yeah.
if we know that as new technologies, as new ideas and concepts come out, you have to stay on top of it, and you have to keep progressing and keep pushing yourself, because I mean, we are at a time in this world where things are progressing faster than ever before, and it's compounding. I mean, to think that 2 years ago that live streaming would be as big as it is now, people would call you crazy. Even just 2 years ago, even after Periscope was just released, a lot of people didn't even think it was going to work.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true. They thought it was
now look at it. Yeah, and now look at it. Now everybody is following suit. Facebook's kind of dominated the market now. Of course, they have 1.5 billion people on it. Instagram's picking it up. Snapchat's doing it. You know, like everybody's got their own little iteration of it. But here's the deal. What you have to do, you got to get more exposures, right? So like we could talk about it really is that simple. So commit to yourself that you're just going to do it. The best way to do it is to just reach out. Don't overqualify, right? Like for instance, and here's what I mean by this. Don't overqualify people on either end of the spectrum. I can tell you, so many people just talk to people that they're comfortable, like their level of success and below, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what most people, our natural tendency is to connect with people that have the level of success of yourself or lower, because you know what? Why would somebody that's had more success than me want to work with me? Well, there's a lot of reasons. I'm not going to get into those right now, but the bottom line is don't overqualify people. It's always good to kind of have some ideas. You want to call the A-list first, so to speak.
Yeah.
But when you call the A-list, let them know, hey, you're calling them on the A-list because you're excited about what you're doing. You're jacked about what you have, the product, the opportunity, the whatever. And you know what? You thought about them because you're as excited about it as you are, and you know you just want to share it with them and see if it might be a right fit for them. You know, just like keep it fun, keep it exciting. Because I got news for you. If you don't have fun with it, it is what it is. They're gonna see you. People want to have fun. They're gonna see you're not having fun with it. They're gonna think they don't have to have fun, and nobody wants to do something that's not fun. And here's the other thing I want to say is that think about, and I know I've said this a couple times in this broadcast. So many people try something 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times and get no results, and they go, "Oh, that didn't work. I quit."
Yeah.
But here's the reality. Wendy and I were talking a little bit before. I did a test where I was connecting with people on Facebook. And out of that test, I sent out, I've got 5,000 connections on my personal Facebook page, right? And out of that list, I probably only know about 1,000 of them, right? So I got like 4,000 people on there I don't know. I've connected with them. A lot of them I probably shouldn't be connected with. So I'm constantly, cycling that through. But what happens is I did this test where I sent 705 personal messages out, like private messages in the chat on Facebook. And out of those 705 messages that I sent, I got 130 responses. Okay, 130. So what does that mean? That means 575 people didn't even respond to me. Right?
Wow, and they're supposed to be your friends too.
Right, well, exactly, right? 575 people didn't respond to me. And so what do you do with that, right? Like most people look at that and they go, well, I'll tell you this, if you are the type of person who's like given up on something, I'll even challenge you to say maybe you're doing something, you didn't give up on the business, you just gave up on Facebook messaging because it didn't work because, whatever. I'm going to probably challenge you to say you're either not coming up with the right messaging or you're not giving it enough time. Your sample set isn't large enough, because the bottom line is it works if you do it right, but it's all a matter of, I always say, we can all deal as human beings. We could deal with anything that we expect, right?
Yes, exactly.
So if you go into your Facebook messages thinking you're going to get a 50% response conversion rate, whatever, you're gonna want to smash your head against a brick wall. But if you go into it knowing like, hey, I'm gonna send 7 messages out. I'm gonna get about 1 response out of those 7 messages, and out of every 10 responses I get, I might get 2 or 3 people that join my team. And when I say this, I'm talking about when you're brand new. That's kind of what you can expect. As you get better and better and better, and as you start attracting people to you, and Wendy's really amazing with the attraction marketing concept. As you start focusing on building a brand, getting better at live streaming, learning how to target the right demographics and audience, and as you start bringing those people to you and making it so you're a more attractive figure, naturally your conversions will go up, because people do business with people that they know, like, and trust. We talked about this yesterday, right? People do business with people they know, like, and trust. So if you can do that, right, you're watching this video, so now you know me a little bit. You know Wendy a little bit. I don't know if you like me or not. Hopefully with the information that I'm telling you, you know that I just care about you. I'm putting this out there to help. And so you at least trust, what I'm saying enough to go give it a shot, and it's that concept is you put yourself out there, and there are definitely things that you can do to build that trust, because a lot of times people won't respond to you online because they don't trust the system. They don't trust that you're real. They don't whatever. So you got to do some certain things to build the trust sometimes, to get them to even really engage with you, to like you, and then, know you a little better.
And I'm going to add a little bit to that too. I usually talk to my clients about when they're talking about their downline, think of it as like a kitchen funnel. Like you pour liquid into a kitchen funnel because you want it to go into a smaller container, right? And it's bigger at the top. So what you're going to do is you're going to start pouring all of those contacts down that kitchen funnel, and it's going to get smaller at the bottom. Well, what's going to come out is the people that you can follow up with, the people that are likely to be attracted to you and your business, and then eventually the people that will actually join you. So if you think about that funnel, and you want to pour as much into the top as you possibly can, as fast as you can, because what's going to come out the bottom is always going to be smaller. So if you can keep that concept of a funnel, you got to pour a lot in to get a little bit out. and that seems to kind of carry over with people when I talk about it that way. Because it just, it's a really good visual of how much you've got to put in before you get a little bit out. And it takes a lot of work, and you have to do it quickly. It's not something that you can, just do 1 or 2 people here and there today, and maybe a couple of days from now. That's just absolutely not going to grow your downline fast. And if you really want a lot of fast results, then you've got to pour in a lot of fast work.
Well, you got to overplan too, because it all comes down to this. Like when I was in the financial industry, my target was to have 15 appointments a week. Okay. So if my target was to have 15 appointments a week, then what did I have to do? I had to make sure that I booked at least 25, because I knew it got to the point where I was booking 15, but then I'd only have like 7, right?
Yeah.
And it was what it was, because people just cancel. They don't show. Life happens. They just don't prioritize it. And once again, don't take it personally, but they don't know what you know about what you're doing, right? So it's hard for them to prioritize it to your level when they're not as emotionally engaged. Like, other things happen. And so I was scheduling 25 appointments a week, and I was literally having 12 to 15 people, and that's okay, but it just is what it is. You got to understand. And if you don't expect that, then you take it personally, and then you get dejected, and you're like, why can't I have success? Why is this not working? Well, it's because you're not doing enough work. You know, like you're not exposing enough people, you're not putting enough things on your books. And so, you know, and then the question is, what did I do with the time that I had where the people who canceled didn't show up? What did I do? Well, guess what? I just kept making more appointments for the next week or for 2 weeks out. You know, I would just keep calling people.
Every time you have a blank slot, you need to use that time to fill the following week or the following day or wherever it is that you have another open slot.
Yep. Bingo. And it's really, I mean, that's it. So just remember, guys, know that you're going to have, especially at the beginning, you're going to have smaller conversion rates. You're going to have if you can convert 10% of your people online, of your contacts, you are a rock star. And remember, so I'll give you the final number. I think I had, hold on, I had like 30, good Lord, 28 people or so out of the 705 emails or messages that I sent. 28 people actually joined my team. 28 out of 705. Most people look at that and they go, that's a lot of work. Well, it's not that much work. If you really learn how to do it, you're not spending a lot of time on it. What's 10 seconds to write an email or a minute to write an email? Well, 705 minutes, I don't know how, like whatever, or to do that, to send out 705 messages. If I spend a minute on each message sending them out, it's just like, hey, this is Chris, you know, like we're connected, good to connect with you. I'd love to learn a little bit more about what you do, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's easy. It's the 120 people, 130 people that responded to me. That's where it takes a little more time. But when you look at 28 out of 130, that's not a bad conversion rate. Now you're looking at 25%-ish conversion rate. That's pretty sweet. And if you could do that, then, you know, that's what it's all about. And then it's just a matter of exposing and sorting. You just expose people to what you're doing. You don't get emotionally connected to the outcome. And then you sort those, you know, the people who opt in, who want to keep the conversation going. You know, you keep them going down that funnel that Wendy was talking about, and the ones that eventually want to come out the other side are the ones that, you know, that opt in. They self-select in. I don't know about you, but I'm not good enough to motivate anybody to do anything they're not going to be willing to do for themselves. You know, like I don't have any magical special powers. I'm not like this supremely gifted. You know, I think even Tony Robbins would tell you he doesn't motivate anybody. He simply gets people to check inside themselves and realize things that they motivate themselves. Motivation has to come from within, you know. And so
I
tell
people my name might be Wendy, but Tinkerbell didn't leave me any fairy dust.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's just basically, it boils down to work, guys. You know, and if you're willing to put in the work and you're excited about your opportunity and you're truly genuinely caring about people and their needs first, then those people will convert with you. It's just a matter of how you put your offer out there and what you're saying and what you're doing. And if you're really truly trying, because don't think, you know, just like I said before, you know, contacting 1 or 2 people a day is enough to convert and truly build a business. It's just not.
Well, so many people when you fail this, and this is how I want to end it for Wendy, I think, is so many people get into this and they say they want to create this life out of it, and this whatever, the income, the full-time income, and replace their income and all that stuff. But the reality is you don't achieve full-time results by handling it like a part-time gig. You know, you don't have to put full-time hours into it. But the beautiful part about this is if you think about, I mean, they've done plenty of studies on people who work 40 hours a week for people at their jobs. They're really only productive 15 to 20 hours of those 40, right? So if you could take and really be productive 10 to 15 hours a week, you can massively shift what you're doing, right? You can massively shift your results in your life. But you have to start with the end in mind, right? You have to know what it is that you want this business to do for you, and you have to be intentional about that, and you have to commit to that. You have to make the decision to make it work, and then you have to go out and make it work. And That's really what it comes down to. So if you say to me, and I'll tell you right now, like Wendy, you know, anybody comes to me and they say, hey, Chris, you know, when they first join the team and they go, I want to, like, I really want to, I'm excited about this. I want to make a lot of money. I want to replace my income. And I'm like, okay, what's your plan? Right? I mean, I know I can give it to them, right? But it's like our last video. Ask good questions. Get people thinking about it, right? I'm not going to say, oh, that's not going to work. You got to do this if you want to make it work. No, I go, what's your plan? How are you going to make that work? And I'm going to contact some people, you know, like I've got like blah, blah, blah. And it's all very short-sighted typically, right? It's all like, what am I going to do for the next week to do it? No, like, because after that week, what? Because that's going to probably blow up in your face a little bit. It always does, and that's okay. That's part of the process, the beautiful ugliness of this whole thing. And
yeah,
it is what it is.
But the coyote ugly.
Yeah, exactly. But here's the deal. If we know that, you know, like if you, so what I like to do is I say, hey, listen, you tell me what you want to make for income. I'll tell you how you need to structure your business to get that income to happen for you, right? And so then we'll come up with a plan on how to make that happen. So if you want to have 200 people on your team to get the income that you want, what does that look like? How are you going to get to that 200 people? Because when you're first new into this business, you don't understand how to get there, how to do that, what it even looks like, the different phases you're going to go through before you actually reach that point. So what I say is, like, let's start with the end in mind, figure out where you want to go, and then let's come up with a plan. You want to get 30 people in your business this month, your first month? You want to get 10 people in your business your first month? How many contacts does that make? What is required to pop in the top of that funnel to have 10 people pop out the bottom, right? Most people are only focused on the 10 people, and then when they come up short, they don't know why. It's because they didn't have enough people at the top of the funnel. They didn't have enough stuff at the top to come out the bottom. And it really is that simple. If we boil it down and get rid of all the personalities and emotions and everything out of it, it's really just that simple.
Well, I think right there, Chris, is a great place to stop. We are right at the top of the hour now. And so, guys, I want to let you know that we appreciate you joining us on the Cash Life Mastery channel. So if you're on Facebook, make sure that you hit get notifications. And if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We'll also put some information on how to connect with Chris. And we appreciate Chris being here with us every single day so far. We are on a 30-day challenge to help you propel your marketing in 2017. So, guys, make sure that you go back and watch all the other videos that we've done, and keep moving forward with us till the end of January when we stop the Mastermind series. And I think that's it. Chris, you want to say bye?
See you later, guys. That was fun. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. And like I said, if you have any questions, we do check back and check this out. So engage, and we'll help out in any way we can.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Have a great one, guys, and we will see you tomorrow.
All righty.
Bye-bye.